Alright. Let's see how we get paired against. I think the harder matchups are Zoo and Miracle Rogue. Certain warrior decks as well. It really depends on their draw, though.
Rexa versus Gul'dan.
Alright, well, let's hope he's handlocked. But you gotta assume that it's Zoo. So I am gonna keep the Timberwolf and the Unleash because, like I said in the deck tech, Unleash and Timberwolf are how you win this matchup. Basically, if you don't have Unleash the Hounds, you should mulligan every card that's not tracking because you cannot beat Zoo without Unleash. So every card, if you don't have Unleash, you have to mulligan everything unless it's tracking because tracking is more Unleash the Hounds than the average card. Anyway, I do have it, which means that I can keep the Timberwolf because that combo is what I need against Zoo, and I have to assume that it's Zoo or else I will lose. I'm going to keep the Web Spinner just so I have a turn 1 play. Could keep the Direwolf to follow it up, but he's going to play a dude and I'm going to play Web Spinner, and Web Spinner is going to die. So Direwolf is not going to be able to buff this turn 2, because Web Spinner is definitely dead turn 2. So I'm going to put this back looking for Haunted Creeper, or maybe like an Animal Companion I could coin into. Oh, we'll keep Web Spinner though. Okay, tracking's fine. No play. Interesting. And Deadly Shot will be great if it's handlock. A lot of zoos just don't have a 1-drop as often now because they did have to cut some. So I'm pretty sure that it's handlock, which is very good for us because it's a great matchup. I could hero power, but getting him low really quickly isn't that high of a priority. Once I get him to around 15, I can't really keep attacking anyway to play around Molten Giant. So what I'm going to do here is just tracking instead of hero power. It's almost always right to tracking instead of hero power because tracking will draw you into a perfect curve. If I already had an Animal Companion and I had a Houndmaster, maybe I would hero power here. But in this case, I have the Unleash. I know what I want. I want Hunter's Mark, I want Animal Companion, Buzzard. So I'm going to look for these things. Well, Haunted Creeper's like fine, but I'm not going to coin into it. It's not that good. So I'll just take the Web Spinner. Get to save my coin, still develop the board a little. Alright. That's good though, we got past 3 cards that we don't want in the matchup. The most important card is probably like Hunter's Mark in this matchup. It's a good thing that I have Deadly Shot. That can definitely count as a Hunter's Mark. Hopefully he doesn't farce here right now. Okay, good. So he's probably going to life tap. Ooh, I got a Buzzard. And since he double coiled, it means that he can't... He double coiled, so he can't play Mountain Giant next turn. So he's going to play Twilight Drake, if anything. He's also played 2... He played 2 Mortal Coils.
I wonder.
Okay, this is a really weird play, but I think I'm actually going to play Buzzard right now. Because he's played 2 Mortal Coils, so the only way he can deal with it next turn is Hellfire. And Hellfire ends up being a 1-for-1, because this replaced itself. If he wants to spend his whole turn dealing with that, I'm definitely okay with it. He also might Soulfire it, I guess, which I would also not really care about. That's just not a very good exchange for him. I think he's going to. He's thinking, oh, he doesn't. Okay. I could Houndmaster and trade to try to keep this around longer, but in that case, it might draw me 1 more card at most, and that would make me even more vulnerable. Like, getting Houndmaster Hellfired is a pretty big deal. So what I'm going to do here is play Snapjaw, draw my card, and I'm just going to use Buzzard to trade. I am pretty liberal with Buzzard sometimes. I could coin into the Timberwolf here and draw another card. That's definitely an option available to me. That would mean I can't coin into Savannah next turn, but I most likely have to Deadly Shot his Mountain Giant next turn. Giant's going to cost 5 next turn. So do I take the Timberwolf value right now? I think I will. It's going to make my turtle much harder to ignore as well. I have to trade or else he can kill Timberwolf for free. It would leave Farseer at 1 health, which would make my Unleash better, but... I got my value out of Buzzard. Drew 3 cards. It's more than good enough. I still have 2 Buzzards in my deck. Like, that was a Buzzard I got off Web Spinner. Because Web Spinner's OP. There's very few cards that are bad. Even stuff like Silverback Patriarch, Jungle Panther, Bloodfin Raptor. Those cards are all passable. Next turn he has Siphon Soul mana. It's like kind of tempting to kill command. You want to like save kill command though. That's how you burst him down at the end. It's one of the only direct damage cards in the deck. Because I don't play Leroy. So saving this for like basically if you have both kill commands you can like knock them below 10 and then still have lethal after they double Molten Giant and taunt you. So what I'm saying is it's tempting to kill command this, but I think I'm not going to. I think I'm just going to go for the Houndmaster play. And trade a Timberwolf. It's going to make his AoE less effective. If he spends his turn Siphon Souling this, then he has no board presence. And I get to play Savannah Highmane on a board where I'm ahead. So this is definitely the right play here. Alright. Hunter's Mark's a great draw. If both of these are in the bottom, like 5 cards in my deck, that's definitely a way I could lose, hypothetically. Now that I have 1 Hunter's Mark along with a Deadly Shot, though, it's gonna be pretty difficult to lose the game, I think. Nope, he'll spend his turn Siphon Souling, like I said, and ooh, Soulfire too. Cool. Don't have to worry about Soulfire anymore. So just like always pay attention how much mana your opponent's gonna have next turn, and play accordingly. If you've played against Handlock enough, you know, on 6 mana, you can expect Siphon Soul or Sunwalker. So I'm definitely gonna Deadly Shot. I kind of want a Buzzard and Haunted Creeper, but I'd only really draw 1 card. That's probably not worth it. Let's go ahead and try to tracking into an Animal Companion. The odds of me hitting are extremely high. Just like some 3 mana play would be nice. I mean, Hyena's fine. It's not exciting. I could draw my deck by trading my creatures into the Mountain Giant, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to Deadly Shot. No point in drawing my deck. I can do that whenever. The question is, like, do I want a random card by taking Flare? Maybe a Boar? I'll take Hyena. It's like a threat he can't ignore. If he manages to deal with my Savannah Highmane. I know I'm playing a little slow for what seems like obvious plays, but for the sake of being thorough in these videos, I think it's important to take my time. I feel like I might have made a mistake in like that last Warrior video I did where I played against Zoo and I had a Grommash out. Probably should have gone face, unless he had lethal.
Shields up.
All right. See if he's dead. If I unleash, for 3, Hunter's Mark of that. Trade. 2 damage plus 3 damage, 5, 9 plus 7. 16, so I think he's dead. I hope I did that math right. You kind of got to get fast at doing math with this deck because it's pretty easy to lose games when you just run out of time. His decisions aren't as obvious as they look. Always. Alright. Cool. Let's get on to the next game.